How we doing, everyone? Welcome to the latest episode of the Casual Pros Podcast. I'm Jeff. This is Rukari. And we're just hanging out, talking about whatever it is that crosses our minds. Sometimes whatever crosses your mind. We've actually had some folks get in touch with us over social media and offer thoughts and suggestions on stuff they would like us to talk about, which please do. We don't ever run out of things to say, but sometimes we run out of things to talk about. So
that makes sense.
If you just give us a topic, we'll keep talking
for a long time.
It's when once we have a topic, that's not the issue. It's sometimes it's just coming up with stuff. And naturally, even things that we've talked about before might come up again every once in a while. Things, whether it be jobs, career stuff, or as life evolves, so does how we feel about them and things like that. But how you doing?
And we only have a certain amount of time.
It's very true.
So we find ourselves, and it's happened a lot, truncating some of the stories because we already know the beginning, middle, and end. So we're like, well, the time with the thing, and then we can move on. We got to stop doing that.
We don't know that story.
We promise we'll stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, we'll try. We will promise to try.
This is true. Okay.
Speaking of promising to try,
this episode will be about the wives in our lives, and I like that
true.
Jeff just qualified that, talking about promising to try.
Yep. That's
it. That just set the whole tone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We've had conversations that people have asked us to, because we'll reference our respective significant others, absolutely amazing humans in their own ways, and just how do they deal with you? How does anybody really ever deal with us? And so we thought it would be maybe fun to talk about, because quite frankly, I think it's basically just the same as anybody else. I know you have a good time with your social media. Kind of opening the window a little bit into
that was the nicest way, Jeff said. You have a good time trolling.
Yeah, some of the stuff some of the adventures that you and your significant other Emily go on. So can you talk? You want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, where do we start at the start?
We could. You could. Yeah. How'd you guys meet?
In a crosswalk. Technically, we didn't actually meet there, but given that I am 6'4", she is not a small human being. I don't really have small human beings that are in my life that often. You're not that small, but I mean, okay, so to put this in perspective, my mom's 5'10". Yeah. My sister is 6'2.5".
Yeah.
I'm my height. My dad was pushing my height. My brother's 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. I've always been around tall people.
Yeah.
One of my quote-unquote shorter friends, Trey, who's the little one in our ex-athlete group, is 5'10".
Yeah,
anyway.
I was going to say, because I think that Trey and I are right about that same height.
Yeah, so my definition of small is skewed. However, when it comes to attractiveness, I'm not necessarily a picky person. I think there's beautiful qualities in all sorts of people. Yeah. But for her, the first thing I noticed while walking across the street, and she happened to be in, I want to say they were heels. I don't know if they were necessarily high heels, but something that made her taller. And she's 5'10". She was pushing 6'1", 6'2". Yeah. And after a few margaritas, that's natural. I was like, oh, she's that lady right there is tall.
It's wait, I can still see you above everyone's headline.
And that was pretty much it. As we crossed each other in the crosswalk, they were leaving the establishment, which I frequent. And, it's kind of one of those, both people, I think, turn and look. But you don't think anything of it. There's attractive people all throughout the world. That's neither here nor there. Yep. A few minutes later in the bar, my friends are going, hey, man, that girl came back in, with her friend. I'm like, shut up. You guys are stupid.
The tall one.
Yeah, the tall one. No, that's literally it. And they kept gassing me up about it. And I was like, well, I see him. But apparently she was trying to make eye contact with me, but couldn't because of my buddy's hair in the way. So we ended up bumping into each other at the bar. She will claim that I physically and literally bumped into her. I think that's shenanigans. Her brother called her out and said, Emily's the type to just throw her shoulder and you'd be like, oh, excuse me, to start a conversation. I was like, oh, is she?
Cross-checking.
Yeah. So that's how we met. We started dating shortly after, and it's been a ride since.
Yeah.
How about you? Where'd you meet?
Well, my now wife, Charlie, she and I worked at the same science center together in Tampa, Florida. She was still doing her graduate school stuff, and I was working there. I had been working there for a long, long time, but she was there part-time. She originally came in with a traveling exhibition about sea monsters, basically, like, cool undersea animals and stuff like that. And then she stayed on teaching programs in our education department. And so we were friends and coworkers, and eventually more. But not too long after we had started seeing each other, I ended up getting a job out here in the Seattle area. So we had only been dating around 7-ish, I think, months. And so we did...
God, that's it before you jet.
Yeah,
huh?
But it was going really well, and it was one of those things that...
and then you came up here to live with me.
That's true. That's true. Yes. Ran away with a black man. But yeah, it was one of those things that you're like, well, distance is, sometimes really hard. I guess we could, we could just call it off because it's difficult. But it was like, well, if distance is going to be what kind of, puts a wedge in there, then that'll happen naturally. And hey, if you live across the country, I don't have to see you in the grocery store, and it's not all awkward or anything like that. So we're like, well, let's try it out. And it helped that I was coming out here super like heads down on a job doing a bunch of things, and she was working on her doctorate program, so she was super preoccupied as well. So it turned into, we did about 3 years long distance, Florida to Seattle. And then she taught at Cal State for a couple of years as well. So we did 2 years California to Seattle, which is the same time zone, so that's way easier. If I'm getting off work, or going home at 8 p.m., it's not 11 p.m. For her like it was in Florida. But yeah, and then we got married last year, and she came up here. So yeah, it's been a crazy. Not like typical, in all honesty, because
what is typical?
I don't even know. Yeah, I guess if somebody were to say typical, meeting and dating in the same area, and then you do the steps
from a location sense.
Yeah, from a location sense. But in all honesty, it was, military families do that kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
A lot of times people would say like, oh, that's so difficult. And we looked at it as like, wow, what a blessing it is that we can still talk kind of whenever we want. And, again, it's like you have family that's deployed or something like that. You may not know when the next time you're talking to them, or even how exactly their day is going, and you can't talk for very long. So we tried to, we saw each other as much as possible and tried to count kind of our blessings in and amongst that. But it also, like, it forced us to work on, communication skills and stuff like that.
Which is a constant thing, by the way. Let me just throw that out there.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it was more difficult than maybe some might assume, and then way less than some might assume too, in certain ways.
Yeah, mine was interesting because it was typical, but not typical because we only ended up living blocks away from each other.
Huh.
Like, she's moving in officially right now because it's been, a year and a half or whatever it's been. But she's been at my house every day.
Yeah.
Or I've been at her house, and there's only been like one time that I was there. That's because she moved up with a friend from college, yada, yada, yada. That's been the fun part, because everybody's like, I thought she lived with you. And I was like, yeah, it feels like that, huh? They're like, well, when you get the when are you getting married question, I'm like, we've only been dating like a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, like nobody's in any rush. And they're like, it's only been a year? And I'm like, that's because I post like 5 or 6 stories about her a day. So.
Yeah.
and they go, oh, and I'm like, no, this isn't an awe moment. This is not an awe moment. This is me saying that, yeah, I've drugged this bad boy out. But no, I don't think there's a typical, I guess, is the gist of that is.
Especially in all honesty, especially now, like these days. There's so many ways. I feel like, it was probably more typical, like, as you start to go back decades, where you had the courtship rituals were maybe a little bit more standardized.
Yeah.
And again, part of that is because communication methods were different, or location and distances were different. And
there were no
like
texts
that
were like, hey, you.
Yeah.
Which we totally do
yeah.
now.
Yeah, you up. Yeah.
Hey, big head.
Yeah. No. So I think that has changed the, dating kind of / courtship, just rituals and scene, just in general, probably for everybody. I mean, even when I see people talk about today, whether they be friends or maybe folks in the next generation down, about what their normal is for like either dating or looking for someone or, you know, swiping left and right. I'm just
swiping. I could never.
Not a chance.
And I'm going to find right now.
I think that every generation probably says this about the one that's coming up, but it seems like I would never have survived. I would never be able to do this the way that you kids are doing it now.
I want to find a spouse quiz because I'm going to put you through that pace.
Oh man!
Do you know the 5 love languages? Have you ever read that book?
Italian?
Believe it or not, I read that book when I was 18. No, I was
Italian
Italian first. You didn't even put French first. Okay.
No, not one with the French
So there's physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, giving gifts, physical touch, quality time, and oh god, I'm forgetting the 5th one. Anyway,
it's obviously not yours.
Yeah, well, it might be. Physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, giving gifts. Yeah, that counts. Okay, so
it's true.
We'll go through, and we'll see if I remember the last one.
We're spending time together, and
yeah.
you're doing a great job, by the way. I just wanted to affirm that.
Oh, it's a very real thing, and it helps you. I'm going to say the word manipulate, but understand who
That's
you're
true.
dealing with. You talk about communication, right?
Yeah, it's not manipulation. It's really understanding.
Yeah, it's a perception thing. So I was like, I guess I'll answer the question for myself. I laugh at the difference between Emily and I because there are some things that we are so different about.
Yeah.
And so much the same.
Yeah.
I love quality time. But like Johnny Cochran, I'm going to say, well, let's define quality time. If we're in the same room, I'm happy.
Yep.
I don't need, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Even though I do that a lot because it's interesting having my space and having her be a part of that space. We didn't go in on this place together.
Yes.
So I'm always like, do you have what you need? Do you have
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. And I'm just over here playing my video games. And then finally I look back like, you good? The other that I'm not necessarily giving gifts. Maybe a tad of words of affirmation. I got to find the 5th one.
For you.
For me.
Yeah.
She's the opposite. She's definitely physical touch.
Yep.
Me, I love to be touched. You just can't surprise me. If it's fight or flight, I'm fight.
Yeah.
I am very much fight. She's gonna hate that I say this. I go put this in public. I call her golden retriever all the time because just like Indy was doing to me earlier.
I didn't say it, Emily.
If she sees this little gap here, if I have my hand on my hip and there's a gap of space, I can see the shit go across her face like, oh, you're looking mighty comfortable over there. Would be a shame if somebody just and here she comes.
Wouldn't want it to go to waste.
Yeah, pops all into my space and it drives me hilariously wild. Like I'm never really mad at it. I'm like, oh, get out of here. Like even Liam doesn't do this. But I realize that that's her thing. We both run very hot.
Yeah.
So cuddling is not an option. And if it is, it's like 45 seconds and we're both like, all right.
Okay.
You're sticky. Get off me.
Man, thank goodness you didn't grow up in Florida.
Well,
That'd have been 4.5 seconds.
I am perpetually like warm. Like even right now, we're sitting in a room that I know has no heat, and I love it for it.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here like I'm actually kind of warm. I should have wore shorts today.
Yeah.
And it is still February. It's February in Seattle.
Yep. So
what about you? How would you describe yourself and the difference between Charlie and yourself?
Oh man.
Let me find the last love language.
You know what's funny is we dealt with this, I think, a lot when we were long distance in particular. And actually, we still deal with it when we have distance between us, like if we travel for work or something like that. Like if one of us is traveling for a conference or something. I am definitely...
Acts of service.
Oh, okay.
And it's not necessarily gifts, but I love that one. Like, oh man, you did the dishes. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, that's a lot.
No, but there will be times, where, she will want to keep in a more constant / a different type of communication throughout the day. Whereas for me,
that was the nicest way of saying I'm just over here playing video games. I say that right now. Let me look. When was the last time? I guarantee that Emily was the last to text. Yep.
It's usually like if I'm working too.
I haven't said anything in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
and she's in Dallas right now.
Fine.
She's in Texas. But sometimes I'll get the hello.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
I get that. Like I haven't heard from you a lot today, which is I feel bad because it's never frustrating. The only time I get frustrated is because I'm like, oh well, I didn't realize necessarily that was like super important. I would have said something.
What do you
but
mean
I don't,
you did not realize?
I don't think. I don't.
Yeah, you
think
didn't
about
think.
It.
You don't think.
Don't you put this evil on me?
No, I'm just reciting what I've heard. Not necessarily from Emily, but just in the past, because I am like you in that regard.
Yeah.
She went to Dallas. She's going to be out there for a week. And I am very much like, I can do nothing.
Yeah. And what's funny is for me, it's for some people that is an insecurity. I mean, like, oh, you don't care if you don't say stuff. And for me, it's actually the opposite. I'm so secure about it. And like
so
that,
humble.
That it's just a, no, that it's just a, like, it's just a foundational thing. Like, oh, like, I mean, I think about you a lot, like kind of all through the day, but I don't that doesn't necessarily translate from head and heart to fingertips.
Oh, because I am the worst texter backer.
Yeah.
I will think about it and I will start to do
real
something
bad.
And then I will swipe open another app.
I've also been convinced that I did text back sometimes.
Oh yeah,
too.
I've written it and not.
And my wonderful wife, who is a scientist, will bring up the data.
Categorically demolish that argument.
It's true. As well she should. I mean, I think one of the strengths of our relationship, in all honesty, is the fact that that is part of her personality. And we joke about being a scientist, but like. She's very, very much attention to detail, and she communicates that stuff. She is not at all ever somebody to just let stuff build up and fester, and I am very, very thankful for that, because that communication, even if it might be frustrating in the moment, like, yeah, of course I love you. It doesn't matter, but she's letting me know, like, hey, this is what this says to me. So, like, if you want to improve or get better, like this is a good, helpful way. And I think that's awesome, because it's tough to deal with, when somebody like keeps something bottled up, and then all of a sudden it's like, I felt this way for 2 years, and it's like all over the place, and like, well, now how do you put the toothpaste back in that tube? And there's so much that goes on with it, and I think that point is really the foundation of any kind of relationship, is the communication.
But it's got to fit.
Yes, it has to fit both people.
I don't mind the fester in a small sense. And what I mean by that is, if Emily's ever upset with me, it's written across her face. Yeah. There have been a couple of times where I've been tricked, but I can usually see it. I'm like, what's up? Something's up. Something's up. Tell me. Something's up. Something's up. And I'll finally get it. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me? I'm the opposite in that it's festering. Yeah. But I can deal with it on my own. Just leave me alone. If I'm upset, if you ever see angry Rukari, which I don't think many people ever have, you just leave him alone. Yeah. It's like when I stub my toe, don't ask me if I stub my toe and if it hurts. Because sometimes poking me makes me far more upset than just me being upset as it is.
Is this obviously?
But again, it comes down to that communication. Sometimes I realize, don't be a jackass. Just say it. It's no longer just me working through an issue. Now it is our issue. Whereas usually I've always been taught, hey, it's your thing, figure it out. And I will figure it out.
How has it been merging some of those personality traits, especially as you get into closer proximity? Especially, like, I always think it's fun when Charlie and I are able to be like in like events and stuff together, industry events, or there are certain things like that. And you and I have a similarity from a job standpoint, in that we've had a lot of similar types of those experiences as well, either dealing with communities or media, entertainment type stuff. How do you guys interact? Because I always love knowing that she is off to the side watching interactions, and to be like, he's really just a dork. He's really he's the doofus.
The fun is, Emily says that, but she participates. So we're both in sales, if you will. Like, I would consider myself in sales because I'm trying to sell myself and usually somebody else's product. She sells drugs. I'm going to throw that out there right now. She's going to be mad I said that shit again. Even better than her selling drugs, she sells butt drugs.
It's still funny.
So if anybody wants some butt candy, mostly the drugs that have to do with colonoscopies, like the sludge that you drink to clean, the colon cleanse stuff to get ready for that. And I believe her other area right now is encephalopathy. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. But she's always walking into doctor's offices, talking, interacting. So when we go to events, and I always joke that she is laughably white. Like she is the, hey, Jeff motherfucking Easterling, how you doing? Good to see you. Like that. Like that's her. But she's so good at it. Like there was a point where like a dinner party type thing would make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that's her bread and butter.
Yeah.
So when we go to events, that's her. She's always on like that. And then because I'm usually working, I'm on in that same way, which she laughs about. She's always hated social media. And I hated social media for a while until I started working with it. And now I realize it's part of the career and I know the ins and outs of it. I still hate it.
It's like with anything too. It's got its good uses and evil uses.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She couldn't do her top 9 last year on Instagram. You know how it's like your top 9 posts of the year because she didn't post 9 times. And she was like, oh, I did like 8 though. That was still too many. The fuck is wrong with you? But she comes to those and she will see people line up to talk to me. And she's like, oh, this fucking guy. Like, no way. Don't talk to this fucking guy. Like, his head's already big enough. And she's over there just like Charlie, shaking her head like, oh, this is stupid. What makes it even better, though, the part that I've enjoyed is not the people talking to me or her shaking her head, is them realizing, are you Emily from his Instagram stories? And, oh, she gets pissed. Because if you don't know... I'm thinking of the edit right now where I throw out my Instagram link.
Yeah, that's true.
I troll
in the lower thirds
the shit out of her daily. I will say that's our relationship, and I can hear her. Oh, our relationship.
Babe, that's my love language.
Yeah, that is my love language right there. So events
There's
are
a
fun
sixth
because
one.
I think she realizes. I mean, we were in London at XO, and people were coming up to her. Yeah, I'm from here, but I know you're from there. You're Emily. You're this. You're that. And she's like,
My goodness.
what have you wrought? Like, what have you wrought? Because she's always said,
The girl that plucks stuff out of his eyebrows.
yeah, she's like, there's such a great public persona of Emily floating around on your pages. And I'm like, nobody really cares. So nobody's like, this is exactly how this person is, because we know it's all a fallacy. Well, if it's such a fallacy, why can't you put up a normal photo? Which I won't, ever. I'm telling you right now. What about with you and Charlie?
I give the people what they want.
Has Charlie ever been to, well, you didn't go to EXO, like E3?
PAX, several times.
PAX here, though,
PAX,
right?
oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever gone on the road together to a work event?
Outpost Discovery.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the ones I want to hear about.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that is Halo's wheelhouse,
Yeah.
which means that is.
There was, we had one in Orlando. I was still recovering from a broken leg at the time, and I had a really awesome scooter that I was driving around on, and we had a point in Outpost Discovery. By the way, it was a five city like a traveling fan event for the Halo franchise. Really, really cool. Lots of neat things to do there, and lots of really great opportunities to meet like Halo fans and community members and stuff. And there was a spot where there was like this Nexus Bermuda Triangle point in between a bunch of the like attraction and activities and stuff. And I had gone there, and someone recognized me, and they're like, "Oh, come up." And I love talking to people, like, and answering questions, and just spending time with folks that like play our game and read our stuff. I love that. And but right before those conversations would end, new people would see and recognize, and so you end up with like a hemisphere of folks listening, and it's kind of like an accidental court holding in a way. I'm also like, I literally can't escape. I'm in a scooter. I could have just driven away, but that'd have been real weird. Slowly. Wing. We see you.
Yeah.
But she thinks it's funny and would then run interference, and answer questions. They would come up to her. Is this so and so, or is it And she, okay, yeah, just like a PR person, like a handler. But what's funny is that she's super, again, that science mind, very, very much like observe and calculate and pull the data. And she's ridiculously smart and can like just play whatever role, boom, that she needs to play. She's come and helped at community events, like at the studio sometimes. It's like, oh, here, I can slot in and help with check-in. Yep, here it is.
What does she do when somebody's a little
She's essentially
too
a producer.
fanny?
She just
When
thinks
it's
funny. She just thinks
Does she think it's funny? What happens when Jeff is too funny? So we're laughing, and you guys don't know the story, but both Jeff and I have been gifted with the talent to
Make
create
other
prose.
people laugh with or at us.
With or at us. That's a very
Yeah.
real skill, and it has bitten both of us.
We
in
are
the
wit
ass.
over wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bitten us both in the ass multiple times. Jeff knows what story of his I'm going to go to or what bit of his. But, like, for instance, the mouth has always been my, like, saving grace. Just, I don't care if you're, I don't know if it's because I had to code switch so much and I grew up in Section 8 areas and went to private school, but you can find a way to relate to everyone.
Yeah.
Some call that flirting. I don't. But I
true.
find that I
Treat everybody the same.
treat everyone the same. However, it is very light and bubbly, and honestly, laughter is just the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, let's crack a couple
You
of
disarm
jokes.
folks, you put people at ease. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just always looked at very differently. Like, why are there 5 women around you laughing right now? No, it's never 5. Like, it's never that bad. But I've definitely been told at the bar, you are very social. And I'm like, well, yes. And it was like, you just grabbed everybody, guys, girls. And like, if you were drinking, they were drinking. I'm like, that sounds like drunk me. Like that.
Sounds like sober you in all honesty.
Yeah, and that is just me. But it's like being a casino dealer. Do you ever show your hand to the cameras and be like, I'm not doing anything. Look at this here.
Yes.
Look at this here. Baby, you okay? Okay, so yeah, anyway. And then, I'm like, don't laugh like
No,
that.
stop.
She's right there. So with that, I guess it's probably going to be our last story. I want you to tell what you have to do when you go through the drive-thru. Because that's the best.
My wife is convinced that she knows when the teller or the operator is a male or a female because she's convinced that I sound differently when I talk. So I just mute her. If we're on the phone, I'm going to like any sort of drive-through or teller type thing. I'm just muting. I don't want to hear about it. Because if it is different, it's subconscious. It's not on purpose.
About little old ladies in the store. Do you ever flirt with them? Those are the ones I always
That's
get.
actually that's the best.
Those are the fun ones.
That's the best.
I'll get this high thing down for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so nice. I'm like, did you hear that, babe? She said, I'm so nice.
Right, most little old ladies are about my height, so I don't reach up and get anything off the shelf. But I treat them nice.
All right, in our last couple of minutes, I got some rapid fires for you.
Oh, okay.
Who's older?
Me.
All right. Who was interested first?
Me?
Okay.
I would say probably me. It was fairly quick / mutual.
Yeah, it was mutual,
turnover.
okay.
Yeah.
Who's more sarcastic?
Me.
Okay. Who makes the biggest mess?
Me.
Who has more tattoos?
She does.
Better singer?
Maybe me?
Better driver?
I'm going to say me.
Spends the most money?
Me. Well, I don't know. She spends more money. She might spend more money than I do, but she does it way smarter.
Okay.
She handles all the finances. So
I was going to say smarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's way smarter.
Most common sense.
Way her. Definitely her.
Who's the most sensitive?
Depends on what it is. In all honesty, I think we each have our own. Because I'm a crazy like softy and super sentimental as well.
Who has the worst temper?
Oh, me.
Who cooks?
Me usually.
More
she
social?
cooks awesome, but she would way rather I cook. More social?
Yep.
Me.
Who's the neat freak?
Her.
Okay.
But not a bad way, not a weird way.
Who's the most stubborn?
Ooh. That's a
That's
toss
Jeff
up.
trying to put that on her, but it could be him.
No, I don't know.
Who wakes up earlier?
Oh, definitely her.
Bigger family?
Me. Yeah, me.
Who drives?
Me.
Who picks where you go to dinner?
Both.
Okay. That was just the fun in that.
Yeah. What about you guys?
You know what sucks
Let's
is...
see. Oh, no.
I know.
You did that on purpose.
I did not do that on purpose.
All right.
Well, technically, we can just edit this bit together. Should we just keep going?
We could. We could go a few minutes over. We'll do a dramatic fade. All right, so we're back. A little overtime. A little bonus rapid fire time. So who's older?
I'm older.
Okay. Interested first. What's great is that this is a text thread, so I just see all the answers.
Oh, you're gonna see the bullshit that she wrote. We can go through all of these.
Actually, I want to know which ones.
We were both interested first.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, a mutual thing.
How long have you been together?
A year and a half.
Yeah, we didn't do these.
We didn't. Some of these I skipped because I was like, you kind of hit them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're not married. More sarcastic.
Definitely me.
Most mess.
I make the bigger messes. Like I've always said, I'm not filthy. I'm cluttery.
Okay.
So if I have place, I'm not OCD because I understand that that's a real thing that people have.
Yeah,
but if there's a space for it, I strive to put it back.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of times where I just throw shit wherever it needs to be, and then I'll go pick it up.
Okay. More tattoos.
Me.
Does she have any tattoos?
No. That was easy.
Better singer.
Me. Not by much, but she just can't sing.
No, she says that she's the better singer.
Definitely not. There's a video. You know what? Here's another link for you.
Yeah, that's. You brought this on yourself.
Yeah, there's a video of her singing "Dancing Queen" on my Instagram.
Oh, that's true. That's a good
hurts.
one. That's a classic.
It's not anymore.
Oh man. Better driver.
She's not a bad driver at all. So
What's funny is she says you rolling her eyes.
I don't necessarily. You know what? I have to teach her Seattle City driving because I've lived here my whole life. I'm
sense.
like, why are you in the right lane when you know all these people are about to be crossing the street, and you're not going to be able to, like, the people are going to be waiting to turn here. Like, I know the shortcuts and like the flow of traffic through Seattle roads. So she's not a bad driver at all. Like, I feel very comfortable when she drives. So,
smarter.
She says that I like to think me. I am cursed with being ridiculously intelligent. That's not to knock anybody else. I think she's a very, very, very smart person.
That's a toss up in a way too, because you use it in different ways.
I
smarter
really
is
think
such
so.
a weird thing. I mean, I think that Charlie is smarter than I am, especially like classically smart and educated.
Right. So how do you go into that? I dropped out of high school
and she teaches anatomy and physics and she does real science and I do fake science.
Right. She gets freaked out when she watches my ability to learn, to soak up information, my memory, I'm quick. Like I tell her all the time, she goes, how the fuck do you think of that or remember that? And I go, because for me, accessing information is not like opening a file cabinet and having to search for letter and then finding the information. It's more so a board that's up.
Yeah.
And I can
it's
see
like a shelf
everything.
That you grab things off just immediately.
Yeah, they're just there. They're there. So that's not to say she's not smart. That's not to say I'm just wicked quick in certain ways, and she's super deep and knowledgeable in others.
Bigger family?
Well, considering I don't know a majority of my family.
Okay.
I think it's me because...
Do you see one of your families more than the other?
Mine because I live in Seattle.
Okay. That's true.
So my mom's down the street, but admittedly, I don't see my mom but once a month.
Yeah. You didn't go to the same school.
No.
And who's most sensitive?
Yeah, I would like to think I'm a sensitive person.
Yeah.
If
Again,
it's talking
kind of
shit,
how you define it.
Yeah, if it's talking shit, it's her. Because to me, words don't hurt at all. It's what we flung at one another.
Yeah.
Like, not her and I, but that's what friends and I just did in general. But, you talk about love languages and words of affirmation versus like acts of service.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I'm sensitive about. Like, oh, I noticed that this meant ABC and you did this.
Yeah.
Like, I get sensitive with that.
Worst temper?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Tell her all the time.
It says, oh, hell, Rukari.
I'm a flash fried type thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Hot, off.
Yep. Speaking of flash fried, who does the cooking?
This is bullshit. Because, well, again, when I talked about her coming into the house and I'd be like, hey, like, are you good? Like, let me make this, let me make that. Cooking is her comfort. That is her video games.
Oh,
so
okay. That's awesome.
I've kind of been kicked out of my own kitchen, which I'm not excited about.
Yeah.
And
you'll find a balance, though.
Yeah. So we've got the balance. We've got
eventually.
The balance. So she cooks.
Charlie and I have done a lot of cooking like together recently in the past couple of months, preparing things and different meals like together, which is actually really
we haven't
cool.
got to together yet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, and we do that, like we get not an advertisement. They don't sponsor us, but if you want to, that's fine. HelloFresh. We started doing like the HelloFresh thing where we largely did it to like expand our palate. We found ourselves that we would just get into the same things that we were cooking. We would always go to the store.
Taco
get the same
Tuesday is
stuff.
happening regardless.
That's fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, so we started doing that, and that's neat because it's new stuff, and we divide up essentially what's going on. We're both in the kitchen together and preparing it and eating it. Like,
yeah, that's
awesome. Really, really cool.
You see how small my place is, though. That becomes tough.
That
becomes tough, and I definitely get the fuck out of here.
Just don't make this space in your arm.
Right, there we go.
Most stubborn?
Me.
Yeah.
She would like to think that she's stubborn too, but I've heard her say two things about me, my friends, all that stuff. First of all, she thought she was loud.
Yeah.
Because she's the alpha in her group. Like her little girlfriends and all that. I say little, they're not little people, but you know, her girls and all that. Like she is the ringleader. And then their loud group ran into me, Trey, Eric, like Willie, Jamie, and she's like, oh, y'all motherfuckers are loud. Yeah. So, yeah, when it comes to stubbornness, she's very stubborn as well. I am a brick wall.
It was interesting, like, having, when you talk about, like, the circle of friends. Oh, by the way, the Lakers won. I just got a text. I think it was from Trey.
Oh, okay. All
right. It's at Charlie and I's wedding, is the circle of folks that were there, like, mutual friends of ours and stuff. Yeah, and then the mix of, like, family too, because Charlie's family is all from Germany, and so it's it was just a crazy mix. So it is funny to mix the circles together.
Yeah, it's
too.
wild.
It's interesting. It's like your friends, her friends, your friends, as far as like together. And
what were we laughing at? Oh, she'd be so mad at me for telling this story. When her parents moved her in high school from Dallas to the Bay, she protested literally by going on hunger strike.
The Bay.
I think she was
like
in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Not the good Bay, not Tampa Bay.
No. She went on hunger strike. Me and black ass Trey are over here. Who the fuck goes on hunger strike? And she's over here like, what? And, you know, like her brother's like, well, you know. But I'm laughing because I could see the two circles. I was like, my hunger strike was not a choice. I went on hunger strike all the time.
Like peanut butter sandwiches and steakums? Yeah, that's the hunger strike. I called that Tuesday.
But I remember watching, I was like, oh, these are two very different circles because we couldn't even fathom.
Oh, that's good.
Fathom that.
Oh, man. Yeah, do you get flowers off? Do you send flowers?
No, I need to do that more. Once it gets into summertime, and I didn't do it as much last year, Pike Place Market, you know, and the Ballard Farmers Market, they'll have fresh stuff out there.
What's your favorite type of gift? Like, what do you guys get? Because
you know,
sometimes you have like the chocolates, flowers, things. Like Charlotte, she loves, you know, pop figures or love, you know, like all kinds of really cool
I
stuff.
hate material items.
Yeah.
I don't know if she hates. I hate gifts, and I'll give you the reason why. And my mom's the same way. I'm very fortunate in life. I don't think to necessarily want little, but I have kind of everything that I want. And if I want it,
You just get it right then. Yeah.
Like, there's no wait. Instant gratification is real. So even like for our anniversary, I got her luggage.
Yeah.
Because she travels every other week across the state.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I remember feeling so bad. Like, she's 26 years old and I'm buying her luggage. And she was like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
I could see her liking that though, because again, like she, you know, that's
like Valentine's Day. All my gifts were gags, highly inappropriate gags.
As you do.
Just fun little cheeky stuff for us. But like Christmas.
Pine cones, bed full of pine cones.
I will tell that story here in a bit. Christmas last year, she got me, I just forgot the name of them. These towels. They're actually technically bath sheets because they're 6 feet long. I just forgot the brand of them. Ridiculously expensive towels that were the best purchase ever. She's like, I know this is something that you would never invest in for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's something that's great. So our gifts are a little unorthodox.
Yeah.
Very practical. Like, I got a Theragun this year.
Oh, that thing's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we don't really gift.
Yeah.
Unless there is a specific need and the other person somehow hasn't gotten it. Flowers I got to do better about, because that's the Sunday market thing. I can do that once a week and throw them out for like $15-20.
Before we close, advice or recipe for success?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's not me being lazy. That's just saying I don't know, because I still stumble.
Yep.
Emily and I look like we have a ton of fun, and at the same time,
I
I'm
think
not saying there's ever been a low, but
no, but there are good trends. You know, my parents, my grandparents especially, always said, you know, and I think it's super helpful, the don't go to bed angry, you know, type of thing.
I'm the opposite. She
Really?
tries that shit. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Leave me. Just let me sleep on it.
Yeah. So maybe it's knowing the other person.
Yeah.
Just
But that's communication.
Pay enough attention to communicate and know the other person, because it would never be a one size fits all.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, going to bed angry is maybe a bad idea for most people, but maybe it's
To be
different
fair, we
for
only
others.
go to bed angry if both have been drinking. And then it's usually
So don't drink. There you
other
go.
factors that go into it. I'm like, baby, you've been drinking. I have, and then it's pride. I haven't drank that much. I'm like, well, you drink as much as me, and I can drink a lot, and I know I feel it, but what comes out is, fuck you mean? We took shots together. Anyway, but it's funny because don't go to bed angry is a real one, and one that I am terrible at.
Yeah.
But I'm fine going to bed angry because it's never, again, quick to anger.
Yeah.
Quick to come down. Just let me sleep on it.
Yep.
I will have forgotten in the morning.
And like you said, it's down to communication. That's the big. I mean, that's the big thing got us through 5 years of long distance is good communication, and the willingness to evolve and compromise. I think that's the big thing. Is there are certain times to be stubborn for sure, but being able to kind of grow and evolve as you change as people too, and communicating, you know, those changes, I think is super important.
I don't know why this is stuck in my head. Jessica Shea.
That's why.
Long time ago. Out of all the hilarious dirty jokes that she would ever make on her blog and Twitter and all that. None of that. No, what I remember her saying about her husband, and I can't remember. I don't think it was something that he did. I think it was a hypothetical situation. But she always said, yeah, love is a choice. Like, we told each other we were making this choice.
Yep.
And therefore, we have to work and figure that out.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
not
think
a
some
binding
people forget.
contract that you're just held against your will.
And I don't know why
on.
that stuck
Yeah.
with me.
No, that's a great one.
But it was like
It's because Jessica's very wise.
Jessica is wise. Except for about song lyrics.
So much wisdom in such a small package.
But I remember she
wisdom
said that, and
density.
I was like, okay, so a choice. And you would hear all these older people saying that, you know, the love that they shared, like the love at first sight BS and all that stuff. And they realized, no, it was constantly changing. It was constantly being worked on. It was a constant evolution. And there are 100 times, 1,000 times where I wake up and look at Emily and I go, I don't have to be here. But instead of looking like that as a negative, I go,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. I'm making the choice to be
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
consciously each and every day.
Yep.
And I don't know why she's still around, because this is where I'll give everybody at home watching the pine cone story. Is that the best one I have? We have
It
to
might
end this
be.
on a good one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
Is that the
Like
best
pine
one?
cones.
Pine cones. I'm just trying to think of the best troll. The jacket was another good one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go back to what started it. I have no idea actually what started it. My favorite thing to do was to take photos of us. We went to a Seahawk game, and I think I'm ugly. She always says, oh, I won in this. And I'm like, no, I won in this. What the fuck are you talking about? And I hate taking photos of myself.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. So if you ever see a photo of me, my mouth is generally open. Just, candid, I take great photos.
Yeah.
If I have to set up and smile, I can't do that shit.
No Olin Mills, you know.
So whenever I take photos, you're either catching my RBF, my resting black face, or my mouth wide open type bit. She can't stand it. She's like, let's take a good traditional photo. And I'm like, I can't do that. So I'll make a stupid face. Emily fucked up the first few weeks or first couple of months that we were dating and would react. So she would see my stupid face on the photo and go like this and make this angry scowl. And that's where I would smile normally. Click, click, click. And take a few photos. And then, got your ass now. And that's the one I would post. Like, well, I was having a great day at the Seahawks game, and some of us weren't as excited as others. And it just took off. And it just kind of stuck from there. And like for the first 6, 7, 8 months, it was nothing but Emily scowls. We went to Hawaii. Hawaii was probably the best one. We went to Hawaii for a week.
Those were good.
And I realized we got home and I hadn't posted any Hawaii photos. So I posted 10, and this is the horrible human being that I am. I posted 10 of the beautiful landscapes, the scenery, like Hawaii, physically, the location. And I knew in my head, I was like, she's going to say that and talk shit about not being in any of the photos. Because was it Sun Tzu, The Art of War, that says in order to defeat thy enemy, you have to love them first? And in loving them, you don't no longer want to defeat them, but you know everything about them.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I treat life. Like, figure out people's ticks and exploit the shit out of them. So I knew, I was like, she's going to say something about not being in any of these photos. Let me have 10 ready of her that are all the bad ones to post immediately. Sure enough, I post the Hawaii photos. The text goes off. Oh, thanks for the inclusion in the post. And then she, like... she was on... was she on the phone with me when I posted it? And I just hear her friend go, "Oh my God, Emily." and I just sat and waited like, what is this? And there were 10 of the most ridiculous photos. So Instagram has become a haven of Emily, and just this will lead into the pine cones one. She often asks me, how do you think of these things? Again, I think it's like accessing the information.
Yeah.
They just
happening.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a ton of planning. For Valentine's Day, I was going to wear these white jeans. My friend Jamie spoiled it. She snitched. But in only owning a couple of pair of jeans, Emily went to go buy me jeans. I was stubborn. Fuck that. I don't need no more jeans. I got a blue, a black, a gray. She's like, what happens if one of them messes up? Then I go replace that one.
Get another one of that color.
Of that same one. Look, if anybody wants to know, Levi's 541s. I'm a 38, 34.
Yeah.
That's it.
My dad always said that God invented jeans and a t-shirt so guys could dress themselves. I'm like, yeah, there it is.
So she made me get a couple of more options, and there were some green ones that I liked, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I got to get these white ones. She's like, no, you don't need the white ones. I was like, you're right, but if you're going to get me these, the part of the deal, if I'm going to get more jeans, I'm getting these white ones. She forgot. It's been a year since I got these new jeans. I've been saving these jeans for Valentine's Day because I was like, when can I break them out just to piss her off? And it was going to happen then. But anyway, in going through that, she's like, how do you think of that? I'm like, I don't know. It just clicks. And then all of a sudden, my ability to plan, I can go on. So these pine cones, I know we keep alluding to it. During Christmas, I think she's on her way back home from somewhere. So maybe it was, I don't know where she was at, Spokane, whatever it was, if she was traveling for work or pleasure, but she got a shipment to the house. I said, baby, got a box. She's like, well, what's in it? I was like, it doesn't say my name on it.
And that was the problem.
Yeah. What's in it?
Yeah.
I said,
brought this on yourself.
I don't know. Well, will you open it for me? Absolutely. So I open it up, and it's pine cones, frosted pine cones. No, maybe not even frosted.
No, they weren't frosted.
And I was pissed because I could have picked these motherfuckers up off the ground. I wanted to support the Boy Scouts. Fuck all that. They bankrupt now anyway.
So she and I got into it over Twitter.
That's right.
Pine cones.
So she has these pine cones. And mind you, the box is probably 12 by 12 by 12. Like, it's not 5 or 6 pine cones. It's a good 50, 60. And, I'm like, I'm going to create a stupid-ass little Instagram story. And I go, this motherfucker got pine cones because that's just ridiculous. Like, who buys? That's like buying, I guess some people buy rocks, but still. Like buying like 10 rocks versus
it's like buying a tree and bringing it in your house and decorating it.
Yeah, buying branches. Yeah. So she has these pine cones, and I sit there and I put this story up. And I can tell you the exact moment the plan came to fruition. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Lay these out like they're sexy?
That's exactly
what I'm going to do. So I start turning on Lenny Williams, because I love you. That was the song. So I go, hey, Siri, play Lenny Williams, because I love you. And the song comes on. I had to make sure my phone didn't play right there. And I have my phone. I set up the little mini tripod, and I set up the phone, and the song starts playing its little intro, and I go light a couple candles. And mind you, I hid her from my story. So she has no idea what I'm doing anymore. And then I spread them out on the bed like they were roses. And I'm singing with the candles in bed, revving myself. And everybody's dying. And I was like, I'm going to leave these for her. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, that's stupid. You're just going to leave these pine cones out. And I was like, wait, there's more Christmas decorations in the house. Little fake candles and stuff. So I create a trail of pine cones and candles and all sorts of fauna.
New age rose petals, man. Rose petals are so passe.
From the doorway to the bedroom. And the candles aren't real. They're little, you turn them on the bottom and they flicker.
Little tea light.
So I had, that was about the size. So I have them all set up, and she finally, she starts texting me. She's like, hey, is something wrong with your Instagram story? I can't see them anymore. I was like, oh, I don't know. That's crazy. I think they were having an outage.
Weird.
So sure enough, I go pick her up.
It seemed pine to me.
We get to the house. And we're walking up, and Jamie and Trey were supposed to come on. I'm like, hey, they said they'll be a little late. And she was like, oh, and as she's opening the door, I was like, that gives us time. Time for what? And I was like, well, you know, I ain't seen you in a little bit. And she's like, oh my God, you're stupid. Get away from me. And she opens the door and she goes, what the fuck? It's like, come on, babe. We can role play as woodland critters. She goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, who the fuck gets pine cones?
I can be a brownie. You can be
and
a
I take her and I throw her in onto the bed. She's like, there's pine cones everywhere. I'm like, exactly. Why are they in this fucking house? And then finally, you know, of course, I post that story because she was like, why you got your camera out? I was like, why don't I have my camera out? And we post that one up, and it was just, maybe I'll just figure out how to host it and link to it.
It'd be great.
I could just put it up on the channel and link to it and be like, here's that Emily Pinecone story. But she was so mad. So the last, we got this, the snaps or whatever of her like watching everything that she missed throughout the day. And again, she's just shaking her head like, you guys are stupid. You guys are stupid. And then the last one, I caught her. She got a little, not a shop vac, but like a dust buster. And you just hear me, and you look into the bedroom, and she's just pissed off. So yeah, this one goes out to her for putting up with my shenanigans.
Oh, good side. You guys have 3 beautiful pine trees growing in the bedroom now.
What was the one? What did you say to her?
Sap everywhere.
What was she talking about with the pine cones thing? I can't remember.
I
You
don't
had
remember.
a good snapback. She was just not happy, but that's the type of stuff I do to
true.
Emily
That's true.
daily. So yeah. If you guys want to see that again, here one more time. There's that Instagram link right there.
Yeah, it's pretty much describes, I think, our relationships in a nutshell.
Do you troll? You don't troll like that, do you?
No, not as much.
This game,
we just
I get Emily
troll
with that game all the time, too.
conversationally. Yeah, just with each other. But yeah,
smart ass shit.
yeah.
She tells me all the time to watch my grammar. I hate that. I hate that because she knows I code switch.
Yeah.
And she forgets how smart I am. So I'll catch her. She says, I'm doing good. I'm like, oh, you're doing well?
Yeah.
I can do it right back. That's our fun. That's our conversational troll. But I should say this. This is what I've forgotten to say. Emily is also a troll.
Yeah.
I just love to laugh at myself, and that makes her troll not fun, if that makes sense. Like, I take all the joy out of her troll. So she has a photo of me, and I'll post it. I don't give a shit. And that's the problem. Therein lies the problem.
Stole the power.
I'm being a fat boy, playing video games on my computer, so I think the Astros are on my head, and I have no shirt on, just fat-ass belly just sitting out. And I'm eating Cheetos out of the bag. Like this. Like full-on guzzling Cheetos. And I just look disgusting. And she's like, I'm going to post this. I was like, you should. That shit will be hilarious. Well, I don't want to post it now. I also remember the funniest one is like, nobody understands that we laugh at each other, as I ramble on, more than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
One time she had freshly waxed her mustache. It's not a big mustache. She calls it her mustache. I think it's not necessary, but who am I to take away from somebody else's vanity? I definitely told her she looked like Ronald McDonald. Because she did. It was all right here. I may have said that in an inopportune moment where there was, like love was in the air. And I was like, nah, you look like Ronald McDonald. That was one of those. Again, there's ebb and flow where I saw her.
I found the line. I crossed it. My mistake.
5 minutes later, I see her sitting there like, just quiet. And was like, that's my bad. She's like, I just always want to feel pretty for you. I was like, you are absolutely pretty. Like, come on. Some people have their snack. You're just my little happy meal. Did it again. I did it again. I swear to God. Last time. But we laugh at each other. And she, it took her a few minutes, and she's like, all right, I get it. That was funny. I should have known better. The other fun one, again, like I told you, she works in fecal matter, or at least that GI stuff. I caught her one day on the toilet because what asshole shits with the door open? I caught her on the toilet, but she was trying to watch a WebEx meeting on her iPad that was out on the kitchen counter. But she was in the bathroom and left the door open and had her AirPods in so she could listen to it. So she was looking at the screen and listening to it. but she was
Hopefully none of her coworkers are watching.
no. Yeah. She was trying to. Oh, they've seen the snap. She was trying to strike a match to air it out, and I caught her sitting there, and I recorded it, and I remember I didn't post it. Believe it or not, people would be like, "Oh yeah, right, you asshole." I didn't post it. She told me to.
Oh,
she was like, "I am not proud of this."
Fair play.
She goes, "This is too funny." She's like, "Cover my shame, like right here. Cover the the nude parts of my body." And I was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "I don't like it, but it's funny." So anyway, that is the description of us. I am horrible. She's actually horrible too. I just do it better and have a larger audience. She gets on my case for, again, noticeably white shit, like not knowing who Michael Bublé was.
That's the sparkling water guy.
That's now I know who he is because of that. Before, I had no idea. Who the fuck is Michael Bublé? Oh, phone comes out. This guy doesn't know who Michael Bublé is. I'm like, that shit's not funny. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, the latter portion of this turned into an Emily roast, but that's generally how it goes.
It's like it's safer for me.
Is it though?
Nah.
Charlie's gonna be like, Rukari had lots of stories.
That's true. And that's where we close.
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. For Rukari, I'm Jeff. We'll see you next episode.
Bye-bye.